Previously on Between the Sticks.
Can you imagine if they lost?
Yeah.
You guys won't see me here next week if we lose this week. I'm telling you right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Between the Sticks. I am Nabil. Sahib has been unable to make it. He did promise us last week. He said he won't be on the show if Collingwood lose. Unfortunately, they did. Plenty to get through. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Nah, I'm kidding.
Hey guys,
Save! What are you doing here?
Actually, unfortunately, I couldn't be as disappointing as my team and not show up for the show. So I've actually made the time and the effort to show up and be here for the episode. Unlike the unfortunate Collingwood Football Club over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, we're here. We're ready to go. You did my part very well this week.
You very happy with it?
Absolutely.
I practiced all day.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, we're here. We're not going to flake. We're not going to be Collingwood.
we were showing up.
We're not going to disappoint our fans. So we're here. We're ready to go. And let's get underway.
And no better place than to start than Thursday night. Collingwood, Hawthorn, MCG blockbuster. I want to ask you something. I want to tell you something.
What is that?
There's some similarities I'm seeing between Carlton and Collingwood.
Oh my God, we're really at that point. We're comparing Collingwood
big
and Carlton
clubs,
to one another.
Big fan bases. Now we both have lost to Gold Coast.
Yes.
We both lost to Freo.
Yep.
And we both got belted by Hawthorn. So
unfortunately.
Speak about it. Away we go.
Listen, I haven't, like the last couple of weeks, I'm just finding it in me to talk about how rubbish this team has been over the last couple of weeks or over the last month or so now. But yeah, Thursday night and Friday night. Thursday night was horrible. We played rubbish.
Yeah.
Honestly, it felt like Hawthorn were running an Auski clinic.
Yeah.
It looked like they were just running their training drill in front of 60,000 people at the MCG.
It just looked like there was a lot of uncharacteristic Collingwood football. Fumble, missing tackles, no intensity, no pressure.
Yeah, that was...
It just looked wrong.
That's why I said it looked like they were running an Auski clinic.
Yeah,
I think the kids that came out at halftime did a better job than Collingwood last week, if I'm completely honest. Just a rubbish performance, which I said it last week, and I said it the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that. Now, so I wish I could sit here and tell you I know what's going on, or I have an understanding of what's going on. How does a team that was 2 games or 2.5 games clear of everybody at the top of that a month ago.
It's a big drop in form.
Is now fighting not only for top 4 spot, but potentially missing the finals if we lose our next 2 games.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know. I don't think the media likes to make a story out of Collingwood, so I don't want you guys to miss finals, but. Gee, you lose this week, the story will just grow.
I mean, I'd understand if you said you wanted us to miss finals, to be honest.
I do, absolutely.
This year.
Nothing would make me happier.
I guess this is what you call karma. I've been talking shit about Carlton all year.
Nothing would make me happier in the world if Collingwood missed finals. But
yeah, it started off horribly, I'll be honest. The first 5 minutes, Jeremy Howe got knocked out.
Yeah,
and I think it was the one player that we were all waiting to come back because I guess this 35-year-old was going to fix all the problems we had in the team for the last month. But, the way things were written, they said, Jeremy Howe's not going to play this game, even though he is going to play this game. So he got knocked out in the first 5 minutes, and I don't know if it was morale. I don't know if it was just the way the players and the team kind of felt after that point. It just went to shit.
Yeah,
it went straight out the window. Defensively, we've been all over the shop this last month.
Frampton came back. He struggled as well.
Frampton struggled. Houston struggled. Moore's been struggling. Even Jamie Elliott, who they are considering an All-Australian this year, has been nowhere to be found for the last 4 weeks. Everybody, Nick Dacos looks beat up and exhausted.
It just looks, that's the word for it. Exhausted,
that was the other thing that I kind of just noticed on the weekend. He started on the bench. How do you start your best player on the bench?
Well, they asked our journo mates Craig McRae, not our journo mates, but they asked him why.
The journos,
journos, they're not our mates, or they can be, but they asked him why, and he said everyone starts on the bench, and that was his reasoning. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
It's absolute bullshit, to be completely
start
honest.
Your best player in the centre circle.
I think even Nick himself is. Again, this is my opinion. I don't want anybody to take it out of context. I think he's kind of pushing the narrative that the club and the team or the coaching and whatever it is that are putting together, which is, hey, I'm fine and I kind of get the best out of my body by continuing to play and all that bullshit. And I'm just like, nah. I've seen the way you've been running lately, the way you had like a couple of weeks ago against Brisbane, Dunkley chased him down on the wing and tackled him, and Nick Dacos would have arched his back and got away from that normally.
Nick Dacos doesn't get tackled
that easily anyway. And yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why they haven't rested him yet. Not just him. There's a couple of players, I'll be honest, that needed to be rested. Jack Crisp is another one that's been struggling. Very much overdue. So they've rested Pendlebury, Sidebottom, Mychek, McStay, Membry. All the older guys have been rested. Elliott hasn't been rested.
No.
Nick Dacos hasn't been rested. Crisp hasn't been rested.
Maybe Kane Corns is onto something because he did call this about a month ago.
He absolutely did.
So maybe he's onto something.
So, yeah, our on-field issues have just gone from bad to worse over the last month. And out of the last 5 games we've played, we've won 1, which is against Richmond, which I wouldn't even really count as a win per se in terms of you played an inexperienced team, bunch of kids that on any given day, any team above them potentially would beat. So I wouldn't really call that a win per se.
Fair enough.
And the other 4 teams that we've played, which are genuine contenders, like we were a month ago.
Yeah.
We've lost to all of them.
Like, don't dispute any of that.
And yeah, we called it a bit of a form slump, but this has gone past or way past what we call a form slump.
Maybe there's some shades of 2023 about it.
Not really.
No,
I don't. Because even in 2023, we had a form slump, but we weren't playing bad enough that our credentials were being questioned.
That's fair.
They were just like, hey, this team's not going great. We lost to Carlton, we lost to Hawthorn, and we lost to Brisbane.
In 2023,
Brisbane was a contender. Carlton wasn't contenders. Hawthorn was the only team that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Nick Dacos went down in the game. So it was a bunch of like little things. And then we played our last game was against Essendon. And we belted them. And then everything, like order was just restored.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, look, plenty to talk about Collingwood. I hear your frustration. I feel it with the intensity.
I was this close.
You were very angry.
To not being here this week.
Group chat went off.
But you guys were loving this.
It was good fun.
You guys were absolutely loving this.
We'll put Collingwood to the side for now.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit about Carlton. We also lost to the Gold Coast.
We could put Collingwood completely to the side. Not even a little bit. Throw them against the wall.
Yeah, so we'll leave it at the door. We'll talk a bit about Carlton against the Gold Coast Suns at Marvel Stadium.
Oh, yeah, that was a bit of fun.
Yeah, so low crowd. I don't think many Carlton supporters showed up. The ones that did had a good last quarter, but had a horrible second and third quarter.
Which has been
a
staple of the Carlton Football Club.
We play 1 quarter of football. 1 quarter of football.
Let's say
maximum
2. Let's be nice and
maximum
say 2.
Ben King kicked 6.
Yes.
Amongst
I wish we can bring him down to Collingwood this year.
Lewis Young and Jacob Wiedering, so he had a day out.
Yeah.
The kids for Carlton were pretty good. Cooper Lord, Ashton Moyer, Matt Carroll. I mentioned those guys a couple of weeks ago. No, maybe a month ago, 6 weeks ago.
Yes.
So they're starting to come through. So I'm starting to see a very different list to 2023. So I'm trying to look at the positives.
Yep, absolutely.
Despite the issues. And in some big news. Big news. It was announced last week. Michael Voss keeps his job.
You were not very happy about that.
I'm not very happy about that. As my 2 cents. I thought his time was to go. But, I mean, now we back him. So get behind the coach. Get behind the football club.
Michael Voss bandwagon now?
I'm on the Carlton Football Club bandwagon. There's nobody bigger than the club. And if that is Michael Voss, so be it. But we lose the first 5 games of next year and I'll be off that bandwagon.
I have a question for you in that case then. Would you rather them have fired him now or sacked him now and looked for a coach to replace him and start the rebuild and whatever it is that Carlton are going to go through heading into the end of this year and into the beginning of next year? Or they do what they've done now, commit to him and say, yep, this is our coach for next year. But like you said, 5 or 6 games in next year, you guys are rubbish. And they go, we don't like this guy anymore, get rid of him. And then now you sack a coach
early on
a third or a quarter into the season. And then the whole club is in shambles again for the whole of 2026. And then you basically restart into Which one would you prefer?
I'd do it. I'd rip the Band-Aid off now.
Now? Yeah. Kind of like Melbourne?
Yeah. I think Melbourne, they did it right. Yeah, do it
absolutely.
now. But, I mean, interesting enough, there's a podcast called The Monday Blues. Any Carlton supporters, you can
Yes.
check them out. And they were talking about they didn't extend Michael Voss.
Yeah, he was already signed.
Yeah, he was signed till the end of next
2026,
season.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily extend his
Yeah, just didn't
contract.
sack
They
him.
just didn't sack him. So
Yeah,
I don't know what that says, but that sort of says they don't trust. That it tells me as an outsider, and I agree with this take. They don't necessarily have confidence in him for the long term. So,
But they just want to see how he goes.
see how he goes. They made some changes today. They sacked our head of football, Brad Lloyd.
Ooh,
Some
interesting.
big news. The brother of Matthew Lloyd.
Oh,
As well,
did
yeah.
not know
So
that. Yeah.
he's been at the club for 7 years and involved in, I
Interesting.
think, sacking of 2 or 3 coaches, funnily enough. He's been
Right.
around for a while. So,
Yeah.
look, fair enough. So, and I think there'll be a couple of assistants that will potentially be
Probably
moved
head out
on
of-
in the next
yeah.
couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, that's pretty much what the last thing I want to talk about before we wrap up for Carlton, really. Shout out to Frankie Evans, one of those footballers
yes, absolutely.
in your team that is very much maligned by the fans, by his own fan base. Kicked 4 goals against the Suns and kept us in the game in the last quarter. So shout out Frankie Evans.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll keep it moving.
Yes, we will.
Time for... I'm actually going to rename this segment Nabil's favorite segment. Time for Nabil's favorite segment of the week. Top team, flop team of the week. Nabil usually makes this announcement to start us off, but
by all
I'm
means.
doing it for him this week.
By all means.
And I'll start us off. My
Take us
top
away.
team of the week is Sydney. I'm not saying that because they beat Brisbane and did us a favour, but because they went up to the Gabba and played very, very well against Brisbane.
Hell of a performance.
Brisbane have low-key had a bit of a rubbish run at home this year or this season. I'm not too sure.
No,
what's
you're not
going
wrong.
on.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They've done well away. But
Away,
at
yeah.
home, yeah.
So it used to be the other way around. They would be horrible away but play well at home. Hence the voodoos that Brother Wads was talking about last week.
Yes.
But they've broken all of those, but they've struggled at home. They lost to Melbourne at home this year. They've lost to Sydney now.
Yep.
So there's a couple of teams, especially the unpredictable ones, that they've lost to. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they beat or lost to Geelong early this year as well at home. They might have beaten
think
them.
so. If I'm not, I think.
Yeah, don't quote me on that
Yeah.
one.
Brilliant.
So yeah, for that reason, Sydney's my top team of the week. They played well. Their midfield played well.
Goulden was on fire.
Shout out to Isaac Heaney.
Yes.
Isaac Heaney?
Heaney?
Yeah, Isaac Heaney, yes. Is his name Isaac
Yeah,
Heaney?
it
Why
is,
am I-
it is Isaac Heaney,
Why
yeah.
am I blanking? Yeah, kicked 5.
I kicked 5. I didn't know.
23 or
Wow.
20 something.
Back to the Heaney of old.
He and Keziah Pickett are the only 2 players to have had over 20 and kick 5 this year,
Oh, wow.
and they've both done it 3 times.
I didn't know
which
that.
is-
That's good areas from you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so just Sydney's game across the board. Brodie Grundy, I thought, and I said it last week, I thought he was going to eat Brisbane's ruck.
So we're locking him for all Australian, one of those spots. Max
I want to
Gawn
say
and
yes.
Brody Grundy,
I
that's
wanna
your all
say-
Australians.
I think he started off the season off a bit slow, but since maybe I'd say about a third of the way into the season, he's probably been the most consistent and dominant ruckman outside of Gawn. All the others have kind of come and gone. Cherry has come and gone. Darcy Cameron has come and gone.
I think Darcy Cameron's back into the season.
Yeah, the
If
last
we can compare to-
basically when we've been
Yeah,
shit, he
yeah.
hasn't been playing well as well. So I think for that reason, Grundy, if not, I think Luke Jackson might be the closest thing to
Yeah.
the second best.
That's a good shout, actually.
But yeah, Grundy had a good game. Their midfielders did. I think Grundy came off injured as well.
Okay.
But yeah, Sydney did
Yeah.
well. Chad Warner, Goulden you mentioned, Heaney we mentioned, Blakey.
They had a day out.
Yeah,
they had
so
a
they
day
had
out.
that, and then they held on to beat Brisbane.
They got the job done.
So thank you, Sydney, because we needed Brisbane to lose and anybody under us to lose for that
Yeah.
matter. So yeah, for that reason, I'm putting Sydney as my top team. And yours?
My top team of the week is Hawthorn.
Oh,
Yeah, and
of course they
not
are.
not necessarily because I'm hating on Collingwood here. I was very impressed with their performance.
Absolutely.
Their mids, they just looked fast. The wizard was all over it.
Yeah.
Cal Shadir.
Cal Shadir, yep. Young forward.
Father
son, that one.
Yes.
Yes.
I heard him on SEN a few weeks back. I'm very impressed by his interview.
Yes.
Sort of a medium forward. Played
Not even a medium. He's a key
He's
forward.
a key
to be honest.
forward, yeah.
195 or 196. So
Yeah, you're right. Just very impressive. He is good aerially.
aerial work.
His aerial work fantastic. He's good on the ground. He's got a Nous, I think that's Nous for goal. I don't know how to
Yeah.
pronounce it. So very, very impressed with him. Mobile, standout season for Mobile.
Brother,
I'm very happy for him.
I'm not going to lie to you. That guy is probably one of the most unpredictable
He is,
footballers
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Because what is so easy, he'll make it look so hard. And what is so hard, he'll make it look so
He
easy.
does,
So
yeah.
I don't understand how that works, but it's working for Hawthorn.
And he's probably had his best career best season to date, Mobile.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
Hawthorn for me were my top team.
Yeah, fair enough.
Flop team of the week.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I can start if you like.
I have a lot to get off my chest for
I
my
can
flop
start.
team of the
So
week.
my flop team of the week is North Melbourne.
Ooh, interesting.
And this one, I've weighed this one up whether I go after North or not.
Yeah.
Their performance against the Giants, I think they lost by 54, but I
Yeah.
didn't look at it in just isolation. I looked at it, even their run of form in the last few games,
Yeah.
even arguably their season.
Yeah.
They've only won 4 games. They got belted by 101 to Geelong a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Yes,
Yeah.
they lost to St Kilda in a close one, but we expected more from North all season.
Yeah.
And I think last week against the Giants in Canberra, the Giants just came off a belting to the Dogs.
Yes.
I thought North would put up a bit of a fight, and they didn't. So it was a bit disappointing. So North are my flop team of the
Can I
week.
be honest about North,
Yeah.
though? They haven't been putting up a real effort for the last couple of weeks, let's be honest. They got belted by
Yeah.
Geelong. I don't remember who they played before that as well, but I'm pretty sure they got
They
belted.
they've struggled in a lot of games.
So I'm not too sure what's going on with North, but they actually haven't been showing up
No,
to play. So
I think we're not talking about this season per se, but I think they should have won more games than they have, and they've been uncompetitive in a lot. And mind you, credit to them, they did beat Carlton. They belted us, but they overall have been a bit ordinary.
I mean, Richmond was probably expected to do less than them this season, and they've done more.
Yep.
Whereas North have been expected to do more and have done
They've
less.
done less, yeah.
So-
And North don't have a first round pick because they traded it last year.
Yes, they did. So
So
yeah, my flop team of the week is the Collingwoods Football Club.
Wobbles.
Unfortunately, I can't believe I'm saying this, and I can't believe I'm just the whole situation. To be
Yeah.
honest, but yeah, just horrible. I think that I didn't really mention any of the stats earlier about how the game went, so I'll just kind of quickly run through those now.
I know you're a numbers man.
Clearances, we got absolutely smashed in. Forward 50 entries, we got smashed in. And the worst part about that was, not only did we get smashed in them, the way Hawthorn delivered the ball into their forward 50 was 10 times better than we did. Their percentage of inside 50 entry to goal was 58%.
Wow.
Ours, 38%. They had
Yeah.
18 marks inside their 50 to our 9,
Yeah.
which means we were just bombing the ball and hoping and praying something happened, whereas they were actually finding a way into the air attacking 50 by hitting targets.
And you've been saying this for
4
a
weeks.
month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah,
Since the
4
Gold Coast
weeks,
game.
yeah.
Yep.
Collingwood are bombing it inside 50. And I like
So-
it. You've come with numbers. You've come with receipts.
My question is to Craig McRae, the Collingwood Football Club, and the rest of the coaching. How is it that I am noticing this shit as a fan sitting all the way back here, but y'all are not? And if you are, you're ignoring it and keep doing the same shit every week. This is what I don't understand, bro. How are we as fans noticing this shit and they're not? And they're not doing anything about it if they are noticing. Like, I don't understand. Make it make sense. Anyway, this team gives me high blood pressure. But anyways, for that reason being, Collingwobbles are my flop team of the week for the second week in a row. And by the way, we're going potentially for the third week in a row next week.
We do have to, unfortunately, keep it moving.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm done talking about Collingwood anyway.
Our next segment, this week we're doing something a little bit different.
Yes.
We are going to talk about a couple of footballers and then dive into some trade news. So
Yes.
to start with, I want to give a big shout out to Jaden Ewan,
Of the Essendon Football Club.
Essendon Football
absolutely.
Club.
Yes,
Did
sir.
a little bit of research on this guy.
Yep.
But before I get to some of the research, first Vietnamese footballer, or first Vietnamese heritage footballer.
Yep.
Parents came in the 80s.
Yep.
And I know for a fact the Vietnamese community is very, very proud of him.
yeah.
So well done, Jaden.
So basically, first generation.
First generation. Yeah.
Impressive. Very
Very,
impressive.
very impressive. And speaking about his football,
Yep.
even more impressive.
Yes.
Last 2 weeks. Last
Alrighty.
2 weeks.
You've got some stats for us, yeah?
I'm excited about this. I love it. He came
love
on
it.
as a rookie.
Yes, sir.
Played against Tom Papley.
Yep.
Absolutely beat him.
Wow.
Right? Against
Yes,
Sydney
yeah,
2 weeks
against
ago.
Sydney, Yep.
Papley, 1 goal.
Wow.
Kept Papley to 1
Was
goal.
that his debut game?
Debut game. So
Interesting.
absolutely nailed it. Beat
Yes,
Papley.
sir.
Last week, plays on Tyson Stengel.
Yes.
You know how many goals Tyson Stengel kicked?
I have a feeling you're going to say donuts.
0 donuts.
Yeah, I had a
And
feeling you're going to
Stengel's
say
an
donuts.
All-Australian
Premiership player.
premiership player, small forward. These are 2 of the best small forwards in the competition in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
And he's absolutely blanketed them both
Yes.
in a struggling
Sydney
Essendon team.
Yeah.
So shout out Jaden Ewan.
Absolutely.
Full credit to him. And
Yeah,
there is a player you want to mention.
Yes, so you just mentioned a player that just started his career.
Yes.
I'm about to mention a player that's just about to end his
Okay,
career.
let's go.
His name is the great Nat Fyfe from the
Yes.
Fremantle Football Club. He has basically been, I'd say, almost their best player ever, next to
Yes.
maybe Matthew Pavlich.
Yes.
And he announced his retirement early this week.
Yes.
So just to go over some of his stats from his career, 2-time Brownlow medalist.
That's
Not-
very impressive.
Not a lot of
many-
people.
Not many.
Yeah, not many that are 2-time Brownlow medalists. So we're talking about Gary Ablett, Gary Ablett Jr. Sorry,
Yeah.
a couple of like very high end Chris Judds, Adam Goods.
Yeah.
So a couple of high end footballers to come out of this game. He has 2 Players Association trophies, Lee Matthew trophies, 3-time All Australian. One of them being the captain in 2019,
That I rate. Captain of the
is-
All Australian team.
which
He's
was
a
also the year he won his second Brownlow.
Wow. Yeah. He must have had a really dominant season for
Oh,
that.
absolutely!
Yeah.
To be in the All Australian team and be the captain and win the Brownlow medal in the same year.
You're the best player in the competition.
Absolutely. 3-time best and fairest.
Yeah.
And just an overall player, almost like the prototype for the Marcus Bontempellis, the Patrick Cripps.
Yes.
Who else is a bigger bodied midfielder?
Dangerfield.
Dangerfield. Like
Yeah.
he was basically those guys before those guys
Yes,
existed.
he was. Yeah.
Or while those guys were kind of coming up.
Mm.
And he's done a hell of a job at Fremantle. 1 club player.
Yeah. I rate that. I'm all for player loyalty. So
Yeah, absolutely. And an interesting fact about him, which
Tell
I
me.
don't know, I don't think it's going to happen. So he's announced his retirement for
Yes.
the end of this season, which means Fiora's last game will
Yeah.
be his last game. He's currently sitting on 245 games.
okay.
250 is a big achievement or big milestone to
Yeah.
get to in the AFL. So he needs 5 games to get there. That means Freo need to play from now till prelim week.
Yeah.
For him, and he needs to play in all those games
Yeah.
to get to 250. Now, fairy tales happen.
Yes.
Don't know what the chances of this fairy tale happening
I like where you're going.
but if Freo can manage to play the next 2 games, make finals, play 3 weeks of finals, or even make the grand final
Yes.
potentially, and he plays in all of them, he could potentially play his last game as his 250th game and retire right there and then.
Yeah. Even better. Wins the grand final.
I mean, that'll be, brother, I'll call Disney.
Fremantle.
DreamWorks can
first-
come and do a film
First
out of
Fremantle
this.
Premiership.
Yep.
But yeah.
I think
that'd
he'll be on that
would
podium
be- yeah.
lifting that trophy with Alex Pearce and
Yeah.
John Longmuir.
I think they should give him
if they go
give
all the
him
way.
the trophy. if he- on the
Absolutely,
grand
I
final
agree.
day.
So, yeah, just an interesting fact
I like
about
that.
his
I
games
like that,
record.
yeah.
So, it would be great to see him get to 250, but I don't know about all that happening.
No, I like that.
So, yeah, he's my player that I wanted to mention this week. So, yeah, we kind of did a bit of a player who just started his
Yeah,
career and a
player
player
who
just
ends it.
about to end it. So, yeah, that's that. And then moving on, there's a bit of a topic that's kind of gone around the AFL world for a while now, which was in-season trade period. So normally we have a trade period at the end of the AFL
Yeah.
season, which is in October. But a lot of people have always brought up the idea of having an in-season trade period. So halfway through the season, maybe like a May or...
like a EPL.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Like where they have a transfer window in January and June and July. So what are your thoughts on the idea of introducing an in-season trade period?
You know me, I'm a traditionalist. These guys, the people want to ruin our game. It's Australia's
Interesting.
game. I'm all for player loyalty, right?
Yep.
Another trade period just means more players
Have the
are going to
chance
be
to-
moving. Less
Yeah.
one club players. But
Yep.
also, if you've got a lot of injuries
Yeah.
and you don't have a ruckman,
Okay, so
I can see the appeal.
You took my point.
Oh,
right there.
no. Oh, no.
See, so the thing is, I actually think we should introduce a mid-season trade period because, like you said, if teams go down with injury, players are out of form, or I don't know what other circumstances kind of create an environment where you need to bring a new player into your team. I think we should introduce that in-season trade period.
Look, I don't think it has a role in AFL. I think it's fine for other sports, but AFL, like that's just poor list management.
I have a question then. What happens if there's a player who's a free agent? Example, TDK. Example, Jack Silvani. You know that they're leaving at the end of the season, regardless of what happens, right? Would you not prefer to get those guys off your list halfway through the season if you know they're not going to be committed to the cause?
If they're a star player and they're contracted, I want to get the best out of that star player for the remainder of the season.
If they're contracted, I agree. If they're contracted, absolutely. But I'm saying, for example, in a situation where they're not contracted, they're an unrestricted free agent, like the two that I just mentioned are. Wouldn't you want them out of your club and out of that environment sooner rather than later?
Look, if they're a star player and they're playing for the club, I still want the best out of them to get, especially if like we're regardless of whether we're contending or not, you still want to win games.
Absolutely.
I still want to keep them. I'm not letting them go. I want to get the best out of my football club for the season.
What if we remove the concept of free agents being able to move during that mid-season trade period? Only trades can happen then, which means two clubs can only agree to move or not move players.
That's interesting. Yeah,
so if you remove the free agent out of the way, which means even if you have a star player that you think, hey, can play for my team and make him good for the rest of the season, contending or not, but if we trade him now and get him out of here, let's say he's going to request a trade at the end of the list manager knows this guy's going to request a trade. He goes, you know what? I'd rather get your headache ass off my team now and get whatever you're worth for you now rather than wait till the end of the season, deal with the whole shabazz that comes with.
There's certainly more appeal there, and I can see that appeal. But then I'll put it back on culture. I'll put it back on list management. I'll put it back on coaching.
Yep.
Why is it a cultural issue? Is it a coaching issue?
Yeah.
Why aren't we getting the best out of him?
Yeah.
Why him or her in the AFLW?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Why are we getting the best out of them?
Yep.
What can we do to get the best out of them and then trade them at the end of the season?
Fair enough.
You got 44 spots on the list. You decide how you want to fill it, whether that's rookies, whether it's draft picks, whether it's players you trade in.
Yep.
And it goes back to that thing I've said in the past. The season's a marathon.
Yes.
It's a war of it. It's attrition.
Yeah.
You've got to plan well.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't disagree with that part, but I think we have differing opinions.
We disagree on that one
when it comes to if we should introduce it or not. But I guess it's something that's been talked about for a while. I think it's something the AFL has kind of thought of because they have the mid-season draft,
and that was brought in.
But again, the mid-season draft kind of just brings in untried players at the top level into teams. Doesn't necessarily bring Marcus Bontempelli or a Patrick Cripps or a Nick Dacos from one team to another.
Right. That would kill me if.
Can you imagine if Patrick Cripps left halfway through the season?
That would kill me.
I mean, I agree on the
as a fan, it would kill me
because a lot of people have said you've already decided what your list is going to be for the year.
Yeah,
thug it out until the end of it, and then you can work it out after that. But a lot of people are also saying like if a player's unhappy and he doesn't want to be there anymore, he's not committed to the cause. Jamara Ugle-Hagan, big name.
Yeah,
imagine if Bulldogs can get rid of him halfway through the season, get whatever he's worth or whatever his potential is worth, and they can peacefully move on with their season and with their club, and he can peacefully move on with his career. Yeah. Something like that. But we'll leave that up to to have a think about, to the fans to have a think about. That's that. And then moving on.
Yes, we want to talk about some
trade news.
Yes,
this week. Not some trade news, a lot of trade news.
So
let's get started.
Yeah, so with this segment, I'm just going to fire some names out in the media.
Yep.
That's the names floating around in the media.
Yep.
We're going to do stay and go. So I'll name a player.
Okay, fantastic.
It's going to be quick, right?
Yep.
And then you name a player,
quick
vice
fire.
versa.
All right, let's go.
Nazaya Wanganeen-Millera, stay or goes?
Goes.
Callum Wilkie.
That's an interesting one. I will say stays for now.
Stays.
Depending on whether Lee Kalia gets to St Kilda. But for now, I'll say he will stay. TDK for you.
He goes.
Jack Silvani.
He goes.
Ooh, Zach Merritt.
He stays.
You reckon he stays?
He stays.
So
There's just some rumors floating around, but he's a loyal. He's been loyal for a long time. He's had many opportunities to go, so I don't think he'll go anywhere.
Yep. Darcy Parish is the next one.
He'll
Links
go.
to Geelong.
I think he'll go.
Ooh.
I'll tell you why. He's been injury prone his whole career at Essendon. He's struggled with injury.
Yep.
And I don't think he's delivered at Essendon on his potential.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Maybe a fresh
high
start.
draft pick as well.
High draft pick, rated.
Interesting. Who do you got for me?
I've got Kyle Langford from Essendon.
Bro, is an exodus happening at Essendon?
You reckon he's gone? Oh, yeah, there's a couple of players. There's another one.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think he'll go. I think he'll stay, actually. Yeah.
Had a good season last year, just been injury prone.
Dylan Shield from Essendon.
Dylan Shield. Look, I don't know whether he'll go, whether they'll trade him. He may even get delisted. Maybe. I don't know, but it's a bit harsh.
You know, the thing is, they paid a very high price for him. 2 first-round picks they paid for Dylan Shield. So, and again, a lot like Darcy Parish, I don't think he's delivered at Essendon, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the next two on that list.
I'll throw these your way. The first one is Jamie Elliott. Yet to re-sign.
Well,
1 year deal on table.
There's a 2 year deal on the table, but I think it's also the money side of it that's a bit of a thing. So a couple of years ago, he was touted by Geelong. Sorry, not Geelong, Brisbane.
Yeah,
he went up there and visited their facilities. Ended up re-signing. So I think he'll stay.
Okay.
A lot like the Darcy Cameron situation. I think he'll end up staying. The next one.
And the next one is Brody Mychek, loyal servant of the Collingwood Football Club.
I think he'll stay
Underpaid his whole career.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll stay too. I think they'll need to better the offer from a 1 year deal to a 2, potentially 3.
Yeah.
Because he's not highly injury prone.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been one of those guys that's had a run of no injury as well. So I think they'll have to keep him. We need to keep him. We don't have another key forward.
I think they'll let go of Mychek.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to need to regenerate your list. And that means letting some of those guys above 30 go.
Well, if in saying that, there was no reason for them to bring Tim Membry in, who's the same age as Mychek, if they're going to let Mychek go.
I think they keep Membry and they get rid of Mychek, which is harsh as it sounds.
Oh, we'll have to see. I know a lot of people will not be happy with that.
The next one,
Callum Archie.
He's got an offer this year. Yeah, came out yesterday.
Last couple of days
Monday,
or like
Mondays.
a week or so.
I think Sam Edmund may have broken the story potentially.
Yes.
If someone else did not apologise.
Yep.
Archie to Adelaide. He's got he's got a much bigger offer at Adelaide, maybe longer years.
Yep.
Just getting underpaid at Brisbane. I think he'll go. Yeah. And I think Brisbane will trade him and get a good deal for him. Win-win. Brisbane get to sort of regenerate a little bit. They get another young player in, some first rounders. Yeah. Adelaide get a star forward.
Adelaide need him though?
I don't know if they need him.
A medium-sized forward. They have 3 big forwards. They have Rankin, Rochelle. I forgot the other guy's name.
Fogarty.
No, not Fogarty.
Well, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of them, and they have their midfielders are goal kickers. Ben Keys, Dawson. So don't really know if they need Callum Archie as much. Oscar Allen.
He's gone. He's
out
gone.
The door?
He's out the door.
Whoa.
He's gone to Brisbane. And the last one, I've just combined them: Petrarca, Oliver, and Bailey Fridge at the Melbourne Football Club.
I think if the opportunity comes for Oliver, he'll go. I think Petrarca, after everything that's happened over the last 12 to 18 months, whatever it's been now with Melbourne, I think he's kind of come out and said one too many times, like, I'm loyal to Melbourne, I'm staying, like, I'm honouring my contract and all that kind of shit. So I think he'll stay. I think Fritsch will stay as well, especially if they get a decent coach in. I don't think they'll have as many problems as they've had it over the last couple of years. Oliver's my only concern, or not concern.
They won't get much for Oliver.
I know, but I think it'll change the fact that he's a guy that's never really kind of 110% gone, yep, no matter what happens, I'm with Melbourne. But he hasn't really kind of gone, get me out of here immediately as well. So it's like, it's like a double-edged sword with him. So if there's one of those 3 that'll leave, I think it'll be Oliver.
I think Petrarca will stay.
Okay.
I think especially if you get Buckley and a different coach, maybe I think I can see Petrarca staying, continuing to be the leader he is.
Yeah.
Fridge, I think they'll let go, especially if they can get, I don't know, a late first rounder or even a mid-second. I don't think they'll get a first rounder for him, but
not for Fridge.
A second rounder, or if they can get a good draft pick for him, it's part of their regenerating their list. Yeah. I think Fridge also goes.
Yeah.
And Oliver, I think...
There's one last player that I want to mention to you, Sam Draper.
Sam Draper, yes.
Do we think he's going to stay or go?
He would have re-signed by now.
If he
He would have
stay,
re-signed by now. It's the same logic I've applied to
Oscar
TDK,
Allen and TDK.
Oscar Allen, and Silvani. Draper would have re-signed by now. So
If he was
he's
gonna
got a big
stay.
offer by
Brisbane.
Adelaide and Brisbane.
yeah.
So one of those two clubs, I think, may take him up.
I think he might actually head to Brisbane because
Yeah.
Adelaide just re-signed
They signed
Riley O'Brien on a 3-year deal.
Yeah, and it was interesting. They still picked. I know, like for example, what's his name? The Adelaide coach Matthew Nix.
Yeah.
He spoke to Draper
Yeah.
after they re-signed Riley O'Brien. So I don't know what's going on. Whether he goes to Brisbane, whether he goes to Adelaide, but that's fair.
Yeah.
So I think he'll go either way.
Another thing
Tell me.
that you were talking to me about off camera, and this is kind of a concept that's very new to both of us.
Yes.
Is the idea of a draft lottery in the AFL being introduced.
Yes.
So from our understanding, a draft lottery is basically where the top 4 or 5 first round picks are teams that finish at the lower half of the ladder
Yes.
are put into, I guess, like a bit of a lottery,
That's right.
and they basically kind of just pick. So
Yeah.
instead of the team that finishes last getting the first draft pick automatically and so on and so forth in that order.
The lower you finish, the better your chances of
Yeah,
getting
so
a
maybe
first
they
round.
put who's at the bottom, West Coast. They'll put West Coast's name in the jar 10 times,
Yeah.
and they'll put the next team's name in the jar 8
8
times,
times, yeah.
and so on and so forth. And you have a better chance of picking that first draft pick, and then so on and so forth. They'll do the same for the second one and third one, instead of just automatically giving it to the team that finishes last.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Yes.
It's a really, really interesting concept. I think
Yeah.
it's going to prevent teams giving up a lot earlier in the season, which
we've
it's
kind of
happened.
been
Yeah,
seeing.
and David King sort of made some comments about Richmond
Yeah.
on SEN
On the
Monday.
weekend.
And look, there's always there's plenty of comments about
Yeah.
teams at the back
That are
end of the
basically
season,
tanking.
yeah,
Or
they're
trying to
tanking or
tank.
losing games. So, well, not necessarily tank. Yeah, tank and lose. We'll just so this will change things.
Yeah.
Now, for a traditionalist, believe it or not,
Nabil's
this
always
this is not the worst
Oh,
idea.
you agree with this?
This is not the worst idea.
Interesting,
This is
interesting.
not the worst idea.
So kind of mix it up and kind
Yeah.
of keep everybody guessing rather than
I think so.
giving them
Yeah,
a routine
because-
kind of.
And look, I've got to take here. I think sometimes it's not necessarily the team on the bottom that's the worst. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's those teams that are in the middle of the table. Think your St Kildas, think your Essendons that sort
Yeah.
of been sitting between 9 and 14 for a lot of
Yeah,
time,
15, yeah.
and they just haven't been able to climb because they haven't had the access to the top 3 picks.
Yep.
So look, if it gives them a chance of maybe even getting a better pick,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, it makes sense. Or to me, anyway.
it's a stretch, but that's where what I think anyway.
Funny that you mentioned Essendon. I'm just going to hate for no reason right now, but Essendon have done a horrible job with their drafting over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
They've had
they
some
have.
pretty good picks.
Fair.
A shit job at it,
Yeah.
which kind of has become the staple of the club.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm just talking.
Yeah.
I know you're going to like this. That's why I'm talking shit about Essendon.
Yeah, no, they've been ordinary for a long
but
time.
I guess, guys, tell us what you think in the comments. Let us know if you guys think the draft lottery is a good idea, because this is just a concept that we kind of spoke about off camera randomly.
24 hours ago, we spoke about
almost,
this.
yeah.
Literally,
And we were just like, let's mention it, have a chat about it, kind of introduce it, see what I guess the general public think about it more than anything else. But we just kind of gave our opinions. I think I agree with you.
Oh,
I think
that's nice.
I actually agree with you on this one.
That was no shade, man. Just
No.
we're mates, I swear.
For all those that don't know yet.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it would be an interesting concept to be added to the AFL. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll leave the rest of it up to the fans to kind of tell us what they think.
Yeah.
And have discussions in the comments about.
Moving on.
Moving on. I gave this segment a title too, Nabil.
What did we give?
Nabil's not so favorite segment anymore, which is the tipping. Nabil's ex-favorite segment, which is tipping.
Yeah.
And round 23, second last round of the season, is upon us.
Yes.
And let's get started.
We've been talking about the Essendon Football Club for a bit now, and they play on Friday night. They keep getting these Thursday and Friday night games in a dead rubber.
I don't know how a team that's 15 keeps getting prime time slots on TV.
I wish I knew, man.
AFL, get your shit together, bro. Again.
Put us in on Sunday night. Well, no, Monday night.
Yeah, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yep, I agree.
So Essendon, St Kilda at Marvel Stadium Friday night.
Yep.
The Saints for me. They've gone okay. Nazai will have 36 again. He'll kick 5 or 6.
I agree.
He'll have a day out, and Essendon.
They should give Nasai 6 Brownlow votes for his last 2 games,
Yeah,
and
they
probably
should.
this
Yeah,
one as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So-
But I agree with you. I think St Kilda should get over the line against Essendon with the horrible performance that they've been putting on for the last couple of weeks, Essendon.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree with you more. And there's another Friday night game this week.
See, this is what I don't understand. Why have they put 2 Friday night games? One of them is a top 8 or top 4 almost game, which is the one that you're about to mention.
And that's not even on 7.
It's not even on TV or free-to-air TV, as a matter of fact. But the dead rubber St Kilda Essendon game is on. I'll never understand the AFL's fixturing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Friday night, the second game.
Yeah, Fremantle and Brisbane at Optus Stadium.
Yes.
So this is a great clash.
I'm still mad at the fact that that's
Great clash.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to tip Freo. They're the informed team at the moment. I know Brisbane away go well, but Freo are the informed team. I've been tipping them for the last few weeks. I'm going to keep tipping them.
You're going with the frauds.
Going with Freo frauds. So, yeah.
I'm going with Brisbane.
Brisbane.
I think they'll bounce back after the I'd say a bit of a shambolic performance they put on last week. I think they're missing Lachie Neale. I think last week we
that's
said
going to hurt him.
he might not be as bad of a loss for them, but I think he is now considering what Sydney did to them.
Yeah.
And Freo's midfield ain't that bad. Luke Jackson, Sarong, Brayshaw, they have a pretty good bulk of players that run through there. So Brisbane, for the pure fact that they've been playing well away this year.
Yeah, fair call.
And they need to win this game to stay in touch with the top 4, actually, because they get week after this, they don't have such an easy game as well.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Brisbane. For that game. And Saturday.
Do you want to take us into Saturday?
Yes, Saturday we have the Gold Coast and GWS game.
Yeah.
Another top
People
8
First Stadium.
clash.
Big
People
clash.
First Stadium. I think the Gold Coast Suns will get over the line against the Giants. They've just been playing very well up there at People Stadium. I think the Giants bounced back pretty well last week, obliged the fact that they played North Melbourne. But because they got plastered by the Doggies the week before that, the Giants have just been the team that's been a bit inconsistent for me.
Can't disagree with you. Giants have been way too inconsistent.
Yeah.
And the Suns have been in form. You're
Absolutely.
spot on. That's summed it up. I don't really have much else to say on that one. So the Suns for me as well.
Yes, sir. Also, that game's at 12:30.
12:30, and then
I don't understand what is going on with AFL's fixture, but fair enough.
I think no Thursday night game. I don't know.
They put 2 Friday night games, no Thursday night game. There's 4 games on Saturday. Get your shit together, AFL. My days.
It is a
next
weird
game.
One. Yeah. So next game. Do you want to take us there as
Port versus Carlton.
Yes.
Or Carlton
at
versus
Marvel
Port.
Stadium.
At Marvel Stadium.
Yeah, Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide. We have no faith in this football club, man. No faith.
He sat back and wrapped his arms in one fold.
Yeah.
You have no hope for Carlton.
No hope is the word.
Fair
Faith
enough.
is probably the wrong word. No hope.
And you know what? I will never disagree with you when you say that. Yeah, I agree. Port should get over the line against you guys at Marvel. I've never seen. I think this is the most deflated we've both been since we've started recording this podcast, because our teams are just putting on a shit show week after week at the moment.
Disaster.
I think our mate Z said it a couple 6 weeks ago. He's just like, there might be next week where we have a week where there's 2 miserable hosts, and it's actually become a thing now for a couple of weeks. I can't believe it, to be honest. We're both coming out of the week and going, what is going on? Anyways, yeah, I agree. Port is going to get over the line against you guys. Yeah. And then a twilight game on Saturday is...
it's at the MCG. It's Hawthorn and Melbourne at the MCG, 4:15 p.m. The Hawks will get the job done comfortably. Melbourne were good against the Dogs last week. It was a great game to watch.
Until the last 5 minutes, which is when the Doggies actually won it.
So I think Melbourne were very, very impressive, but
Yep.
equally Hawthorn were very impressive. So
unfortunately, I can't disagree with that. I have to.
The
Fact,
Hawks is
I have
me.
to.
I feel like I'm due for an apology to the Hawthorn fans, but I'll hold that off maybe until the end of the
Yes.
season.
Maybe until after the Brisbane
Yeah,
game.
maybe, yeah.
You,
So
you did say last week that you have them missing the
So-
finals, so
I'm holding it. I'm not.
we're not apologising yet.
no,
yeah?
no.
Fair enough.
Not yet.
But yeah, I agree. Hawthorn should get over the line against Melbourne this week, and then Saturday night, which is the massive game of Collingwood and Adelaide in Adelaide, or Adelaide and Collingwood, whichever way you want to put it.
You were saying to me off camera.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hope Collingwood fans have.
No, you know what? I never ever thought there will come a day where I'd say this. There's a lot of delusion within the Collingwood fans. I've been, forgive me, Carlton fans, for calling you guys delusional for the last I don't know how many weeks prior to
But
us
look-
being in the same boat as you guys, heading in the same direction at the moment. But for some reason there's a lot of false hope. And listen, I'll probably regret saying this if we do somehow manage to win next week.
Look.
But there's a lot of false hope or
It's-
delusion or whatever you want to call it.
But Adelaide were ordinary against West Coast.
Against West Coast.
So,
I think this is the one-off. But fun fact, Adelaide haven't beaten us since 2016.
Yeah, look.
So I don't know if that's a voodoo they're about to break this year.
yeah.
But for all those that are wondering, I'm tipping Adelaide this week.
Wow.
Against Collingwood.
Wow.
You know why? Because I've tipped Collingwood for the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And 4 of those weeks,
you wanna
they've
break this-
disappointed. So, yeah. And
You
watch.
wanna stop
You know what's
jinxing
pissing me off, Loki? If Collingwood actually win this game on Saturday, I would be like, I should have just trusted my team. But no,
Yeah.
there's no trust that I have in this team at the moment. So Adelaide.
Those in our tipping competition is tipping Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm not even hiding that fact. Anybody that tips Collingwood there's something wrong with you.
So
But yeah,
Look.
your tip for this week?
we've discussed this game in great length. I'll keep this one short and sweet. Adelaide at home.
Okay, I thought you were going to say
No.
Collingwood. I was gonna say,
I thought about
what's
it,
wrong
but
with
no.
you?
Adelaide at home. So
Absolutely.
the Sunday games. We've got 3 Sunday games. The first
Yes.
one is down in Hobart. I've spoken about Hobart, lovely part of the
Ninja
world.
Stadium.
Ninja Stadium. So North Melbourne and Richmond.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure about this one. I'm going to tip North Melbourne.
I'm going to tip Richmond.
Yeah. Maybe down in Hobart, North play well. Oh, they play a lot of games down in Hobart. I don't know if they necessarily play well down there, but they play a lot of games
Yeah.
there. So North.
I'm tipping Richmond. I think they actually performed pretty well against St Kilda.
Oh, okay.
A
That's
blight
fair.
David
No.
King's comments
Yeah,
the other day about
yeah,
them not playing well.
Ooh.
St Kilda only won that game in the last 2 or 3 minutes
Yes.
of the fourth
Yes.
quarter. So I actually think Richmond might actually get over the line against a very, very, very shit North Melbourne team. They've just put no effort into their season. So yeah, I got Richmond getting over the line with this one.
I got North for me.
Easy.
And then an interesting game Sunday afternoon at the SCG.
Yes.
Sydney v your mates Geelong Cats at the
Sydney,
SCG.
If you guys are listening to us right now,
Tell 'em.
please, I'm begging you guys, slap the shit out of Geelong for us and for everybody else in
we're
the
not
competition.
advocating. Yeah, okay, yeah.
No, I'm talking about winning the game,
winning the
not
game.
physical
Yeah,
violence.
Of course,
I mean,
yeah.
so yeah, metaphorically slap the shit out of Geelong for us and make sure
Got
that
my
they don't
worry
win that
there.
game. So I'm actually going to tip Sydney for this game. Not only am I hoping they beat them, I'm actually tipping them to beat them.
I'm going to tip Geelong. Informed team, playing well. Yes, they're beating ordinary teams, but if I look at their form,
And you know what else I'm
Geelong
going to
will
say? A couple of weeks ago when we were talking about Jeremy Cameron potentially kicking 100 goals, I think, I don't know, remember if I said it on camera, off camera. I said, I think he'll get to 100 goals before the end of the season.
yeah.
I actually don't think he's going to get to 100 goals at all now.
Oh,
I don't think at all he's going to get to 100
including
goals.
finals.
Yeah, including finals.
Yeah, okay.
Just
There's
I'm
not
just
enough
hating.
games.
I'm just hating. I'm just hating, to be honest with you. But yeah, Sydney, please do us a favour. That's all I'm going to say. And the last game of round 22 is the Western Bulldogs versus West Coast.
Yeah, the Dogs, Western Bulldogs,
The
by 100.
percentage farmers.
Yeah, they're going to win by 100. Actually, no,
It's at
West Coast.
Marvel.
Yeah, West Coast did play well last week, so I think the Dogs will win. I know I was about to say 100, but I think it'll be a lot closer than we expect.
Is it because
West Coast have been playing well, so
Fair enough.
I'm gonna say the Bulldogs, but not by many, because
Okay.
the Eagles had a great game last week.
I actually think the Bulldogs will smack him around.
100 plus.
Yeah, maybe not 100 plus, but close to.
Yeah.
It's at Marvel. If it was at Optus, maybe.
Yeah.
It's at Marvel, so I think, the Bulldogs will slap him around a bit.
No, that's fair enough.
And that does it for this week, Nabil.
Now, before I let you go,
another one of these.
Yeah.
Is it another conspiracy theory?
No conspiracy this week.
Okay, interesting.
This week, I know I'm talking to camera. Unfortunately, won't be. Is this for the camera?
This is for the fans.
For the fans.
Okay.
It's a quiz. All right.
Interesting.
Quiz.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a who am I?
Tune in, guys.
Tune in. Who am I? I was a number 1 draft pick.
Interesting.
I debuted against Collingwood. I played over 100 games.
Okay.
And our last clue, I played for 2 clubs, one in Melbourne and one interstate. Who am I?
Oh, interesting. I actually think I might know the answer, but we're not giving it away.
Off camera.
Absolutely. So we'll leave you guys with that. Again, throw all your comments down below, whether it's on the Reels, whether it's on YouTube. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll see who gets the right answer by next week. But with that, Nabil, I think we can wrap up this week.
I had a lot of fun this week. So
we had a lot of laughs. I nearly didn't make it to this episode this week. Nearly pulled the Collingwood and didn't show up for my job. But with that, take care of yourselves, guys. See you later.